for the KO with César Vidal and Gustavo Vidal.
Very good morning, very good afternoon, very good evening, and above all, very welcome here to César Vidal TV and Buscando el KO. You know it, extraordinary weekend program directed by Gustavo Vidal with that encyclopedic wisdom about the world of boxing, with those extraordinary gifts of psycho pomp, and above all with a style impossible to match. Wait to enjoy during this hour. We will relive the past and present glories of this sport of gentlemen. Very good evening, Gustavo. Where are we going to go today?
Very good evening. We are going to a beautiful place with its Guggenheim, because we are going to Bilbao. Why are we going to Bilbao? Because today we are going to talk about a formidable boxer known as the revolver of Morga, Kerman Lejarraga Arana, born in Biscay on February 19, 1992. Man still young, retired from boxing wisely because he had a very good style, but very close to the fajador, to the fighter. Very close to the fajador, to the exchange of blows, and there it is convenient to retire early. A formidable boxer who could have been world champion, but he did not stay far. He did not stay far because he was European welterweight champion, among other things, and super welterweight champion. The welterweight, for those who are now joining this program, is a weight that was very resistant to Spanish boxers. We had to wait until the year 1987, and the great Alfonso Redondo would take that crown and also going to Germany. Neither Ricardo Alice nor Dundun Pacheco were lucky enough to be European welterweight champions, but Kerman Lejarraga, at a certain point, after losing that crown and already being a little off with the weight, moved up to super welterweight and was proclaimed super welterweight champion. Afterwards, he had a slip-up. He could have made the world championship, but well, that's all there was to it. He is, as I say, a formidable boxer, born in Morga, Vizcaya, according to reports. And the man started kickboxing at the same time that he had the habit, I guess, to encourage himself, of reading Schopenhauer. Well, let's add that he is a guy who has his head in the right place. Anyone who hears him speak, that is to say, of that Tony LeBlanc image of the kick-ass, well, no. The truth is that this man seems to have his head and his neurons well oiled. And after reading Schopenhauer and doing kickboxing, the man came to the conclusion that, yes, he was very strong, but he was a little clumsy in his legs. And he said, well, I'm going to dedicate myself exclusively to fists. And so he did. Well, he is a formidable boxer, as I say, who kept his undefeated record of one until March of 2019. 27 undefeated fights. He has a style. He could come back if he wanted to, and I think he would do a lot of damage, but well, he looks like he's going to dedicate himself to other things. And he had a style, as I say, very tough. He was a man, we'll recognize him. He has quite a few tattoos. He has the name Kerman on his boxing shorts. And as we say, a man that every punch he throws is a punch that does a lot of damage. And so he ended up demolishing the opponents. He had really heavy hands. Heavy. But well, as this is talk, and a picture is still worth 1,000 words, let's see now 2 or 3 minutes of highlight, and let's see the gunpowder dynamite or the explosive they want that had the fists. Let's see a couple of minutes of it.
The blood of Europe is
Well then, gunpowder or dynamite? The truth is that he was really good, eh?
Yes. He was also a man who went for the shock. Well, more than to the clash, to the exchange of blows, at least that is the definition I see him. There have been other welter, for example. We were talking about Alfonso Redondo, who was a man who hit, well, maybe as hard as Kerman, or maybe even a little more, maybe, well, a style, but he was very, very technical. He could have other limitations. And then others who were super welterweight champions, let's go back in time, like Jose Hernandez, like Jose Duran, who were very, very technical. They didn't hit as hard, they weren't as hard, but this man was characterized above all by his hardness. Well, that's the thing, is that maybe you give 10 blows, but they give you 4. But people see the 10 that you give and who you have sent to the canvas, but the 4 you take, they're the ribs, they're here, and so on. So, well, it is preferable to have a short career with few fights. And speaking of short careers and few fights, we are going to London, no more and no less, of course, because we are going to London. What happened in London? Well, in London, in our ephemeris, on September 24th, 1994, the local pugil, Elenos Luis, pugil, well, impressive, world champion, heavyweight. Let's see if there's a tip. A man who would beat Mike Tyson, well, a real animal. He arrives with a record. He arrives with a record of 25 fights, having won all 25-21 before the limit. That is, he has beaten, well, people, well, look at that. I have here computed that he has defeated people like Fran Bruno, like Tony Tucker, no more and no less than Tony Tucker, Mike Webber, Tyrell Biggs, Dana Van Rado. Well, the truth is that he beat everybody, right? Osio Caso, Glenn McCrory. I mean, of course, it was not easy for the British to become world champion. He had to face real animals, and I can attest that Tony Tucker, Fran Bruno, Donovan Rado, they were terrifying boxers, weren't they? Tony Tucker and Fran Bruno were world champions, and Donovan Rado could have been. And Matt Cole came in with 29 fights. Well, he had lost 5 of them. He had lost to James Buster Douglas, which helped Douglas to make the world championship with Mike Tyson. As we know, with Olin Norris, Tony Tucker, Mike Hunter. Well, he was a good boxer, but he was not a star either. I mean, Oliver Matt Cole did not expect that from Matt Cole. Well, the law of boxing, at a certain moment you get hit here, bam, in the pair, and all your manias are taken away. All your manias are taken away. It is true. It is true. It is true. Yes, or they hunt your liver, they break.